Is evolution compatible with Scripture, with the God of the Bible? There were variations on that question.
A couple things. You have to distinguish between macroevolution and microevolution. There's not just one monolithic theory of evolution out there. There are all kinds of theories of evolution out there. Microevolution means that there are developmental changes within species, that's documented. We know that takes place. But macroevolution is a whole philosophical view where all life emerges fortuitously from a single cell and all of that, or from the singularity that we were hearing about. But that is not, first of all, no, that's not compatible with the Bible, okay? Second of all, it's not compatible with science, okay? I want to tell just a little story, a Ravi-like story here. I was teaching a senior philosophy elective in a university at one point. And this question of evolution came up. It wasn't a science class, it was a philosophy class. And I said, well, let me just stop for a second and take a poll here of the students. I said, how many of you in this class believe in evolution? Every single hand went up, 30 students. I said, fine. I said, now, as a matter of understanding epistemological systems and so on, let me just ask you to tell me here why you believe in evolution. We can't go through all of the tiny details, but let's get the big arguments, the ones that have been most persuasive and most convincing to you. And I went up to the blackboard and I said, number one, there's silence. I said, come on now, we want to evaluate this as a philosophical view. What is it that persuaded you? One student who went on to his PhD in Harvard, who was a very brilliant student, he said, one of the arguments that's persuaded me is the idea that all living things are made out of the basic same proteins and amino acids and that sort of things, and so common substance equals common source. And then I started to look at some of the laws of logic and fallacy and showed how that is a fallacious argument, which he saw. And I said, okay, what are the other arguments? I couldn't get any. I tried. I wasn't trying to intimidate anybody. I said, come on. Finally, it came out. That's what I was taught in my high school biology class.
That's it.
And that was the biggest reason I could get out of these people. And I said, well, keep in mind that a question of the origin of life, for example, is not, in the final analysis, a biological question. It's a historical question. And biologists can pitch in by looking at the structures of cells and that sort of thing, but they can't really tell you how it started.
I would simply add that the dominant evolutionary model is pure naturalism and materialism. And the closer you look at what is now presented as evolutionary theory, which does have its own genetic roots right in Darwin and Darwinism. And let's remember that Darwin did not invent evolution. Evolutionary thought was around long before Darwin. In fact, Darwin's grandfather was notorious in Britain as an evolutionist before Darwin was ever born. But nonetheless, when you talk about evolution and you talk about what is taught in the high schools and what you're likely to confront in almost any form in the culture, you're talking about absolute naturalism, which means the universe is a closed box, that everything has to be explained in purely natural principles. And you need to understand that that rules out any intervention, any sourcing, any creation, anything like that. So the bottom line is, no, if you just need shorthand, please hear me say, evolution is not compatible with Christianity, period. The more you understand Christianity, the more you understand evolution, you'll see the incompatibility.
He's right, they're right. I'm with them.